Hi everybody, we're going to learn about deductive reasoning 2-4. What is deductive reasoning? The progress of reasoning logically from given statements or facts to a conclusion, sometimes called logical reasoning. Logical argument uses facts, definition, and accepted properties in a logical order to write a logical argument. In a logical argument, a conclusion is drawn based on a given statement. The argument is either valid or invalid. 3 laws allow us to draw valid conclusions. Law of detachment. According to the law of detachment, if the hypothesis of a true conditional is true, then the conclusion is true. So this is the conditional statement. If and then P and Q is true. P is true. Therefore, Q is true. So these 3 dots means therefore. That means conclusion. So this is a symbol for conclusion, therefore. Example, if a student gets an A on the final exam, then the student will pass history. Felicia got an A on her final exam. Therefore, Felicia passed history. Law of contrapositive. According to the law of contrapositive, if the conclusion of a true conditional is false, then the hypothesis was false. Symbolically, if and then the conditional P, Q is true. If Q is false, then therefore P is false. So if this is false, that's false. For example, if a student gets an A on the final exam, then the student will pass history. Felicia did not pass history. Therefore, Felicia did not get an A on the final exam. Law of syllogism allows you to state a conclusion from 2 true conditional statements when the conclusion of one is the hypothesis of the other statement. Symbolically, P, Q is true, Q, R is true, therefore P, R is true. If a student gets an A on the final exam, then the student will pass history. If a student passes history, then they will move on to government class next year. Therefore, if a student gets an A on the final, then student moves on to government next year. So basically, the first 2 is true, the second 2 is true, then first and the third is true. It's like transitive property. A equals B, B equals C, then A and C equal each other. It's like similar concept to that. So to quickly summarize, law of detachment, contrapositive, and syllogism, these are used for logic. And when we're doing geometry honors, we use logic, okay? So these are the 3 laws that we need to know. Law of detachment, if the beginning is true, then end is true. Contrapositive is end is false, then beginning is false. Syllogism is 3 statements. So if they are all true, they're all true. If they're false, they're all false. Let's practice. What can you conclude? What law supports your conclusion? If it is raining outside, then there are clouds in the sky. It is raining today. This is an example of law of detachment. There is clouds in the sky. If you live in Cincinnati, then you live in Ohio. If you live in Ohio, then you live in the United States. This is a example of law of syllogism. If you live in Cincinnati, then you live in US. Let's look at the next one. If Malcolm scores at least 85% on his final exam, then he will earn an A for the term. Malcolm scores a 90% on his final exam. This is a law of detachment because you can write Malcolm earned an A for the term. If two angles are vertical, then they are congruent. Angles 3 and 4 are not congruent. This is an example of law contrapositive because angle 3 and 4 are not vertical. If possible, make a conclusion from the given true statements. What reasoning did you use? If not possible, write invalid. If Mrs. C has hockey, then she is very tired the next day. Mrs. C is not very tired. This is contrapositive. Mrs. C did not have hockey. If it is Tuesday, then you go bowling. You go bowling. This is an example of invalid because it's not possible. If figure is a three-sided polygon, then it is triangle. Figure ABC is a three-sided polygon. This is detachment. Figure ABC it is a triangle. If it is Saturday, then you walk to work. If you walk to work, then you wear sneakers. This is syllogism because if it is Saturday, then you wear sneakers. We'll do more practice in class. Thank you for watching the video.